If you were gonna build another company right now, what would you do day zero?
There's literally only one answer to that question, and it's all of my success is rooted in just understanding the three metrics that Meta cares about when amplifying a video.
What are the three metrics?
So number one is the watch time. So how long is someone watching that video? Number two is the hook rate. So what percentage is watching at 3 seconds? And the third one is shares. That's the golden kind of triangle that they're looking for. Creatives are extinct.
Why?
Because they have no value. Their value has gone to zero.
I disagree completely. So, Mr. Brian, Mr. Blum, are you an entrepreneur or a creator? How do you describe yourself? We're out to dinner. I say, this is my friend Brian. You are?
I introduce myself as an entrepreneur. I've always thought of myself as an entrepreneur. I became a creator because of the value it could bring to my business, but not because I had this call to create. I never really felt compelled to vlog or do anything like that or use it as a creative outlet. But once I saw other people using it as a way to generate, demand for their business, then I got into it.
You're 30, right?
Yeah, don't remind me.
Recently sold a business.
Mm-hmm.
If you could go back and tell your younger self one thing that you wish you had known when you were starting it, what would you tell them?
When starting the business,
Yeah,
that you just have to stay as consistent as humanly possible. And I think everyone's hot and cold. I think people give up very quickly. And if you do the right things every single day, then that's really the only key to success. And there's a few reasons for that, because if I learned one thing from building that business, it's that you only get lucky by being in the game. You can't be checked out and get lucky. And so if you're showing up every day, then you have the opportunity to get lucky. And that's really difficult to understand at the beginning, because it's this old adage of like, will you sprint when the distance is unknown, right? Will you sprint when you don't know how far you're going?
yeah.
Really hard for people to do. However, if you have that mentality at the beginning where it's like, everything's rooted in my process and my systems, I'm going to show up, do the right thing every single day, you give yourself an opportunity to get lucky. Whereas when you're inconsistent, when you check out, you can't get as lucky as you would have been.
The business that you started, were you a creator before you started it?
No, not at all. I had no social media presence.
So 18 months ago, you started an agency.
Now it's 2 years, yeah.
Okay, so 2 years ago, you started an agency. You have 0 followers.
Yeah, like a personal Instagram with like 1,500.
Which one came first? The first client or the first video?
The first tweet.
The first tweet.
Yeah, I built the business really on Twitter. So I had like maybe 1,000 followers on Twitter. I'd seen all these guys create thought leadership content on Twitter. It was a space where a lot of my audience, at least my client base, lived, which was direct-to-consumer brands, Shopify brands. And so they were always on Twitter scrolling, looking for edges, looking for hacks. And I just understood that if I created content that they deemed educational and value dense, then they would probably want to pay me to go execute it and not do it themselves.
So your customer acquisition funnel was Twitter. Your first
Primarily
clients
at the beginning,
came
yeah.
from Twitter. Hey, I saw you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When that first client came, did you then go, oh shit, like making content can make money?
Oh yeah.
Because it was, I think a lot of people make content and make money through brand deals.
Correct.
But that's not what you were doing.
No, not at all.
You were making money by actually selling brands a service that you were providing.
Yes.
So you were in this like build public mode.
Sort of, yeah. I was creating thought leadership content around TikTok Shop and social commerce and UGC, and that led to these people wanting to work with my agency.
Got it. If you were going to build another company right now, knowing what you know, what would you do day zero? What's the playbook?
I think there's literally only one answer to that question, and it's create content in your niche. I literally, there's nothing else that matters. Like, if you can warm up an audience around your narrative, which for me at the time, I'll just give an example of what I did, where TikTok Shop was very early and it was viewed as a black box. It was viewed as exciting, yet misunderstood. It was viewed as only cheap goods and not things that were high AOV, high average order value products. And so I took those things, these kind of commonly held beliefs, and I specifically made content that contradicted those beliefs. So I would highlight things that would
sounds
say,
fun.
I would highlight like, okay, you think that high priced items can't sell in TikTok shop, but this brand is selling at a $200 price point. Here's their playbook. And when I'm telling people that, I'm disproving what they're saying. And then I'm also saying, here's the exact step-by-step way to do it. Again, people don't want to implement your playbook themselves. They just want to pay you they just want to pay you to do it. And so
I think that's super interesting is the idea. Was that you found that niche or were you conscious? I think sometimes people engineer virality and they study what works. And other times they just like land on something. It's almost like a shtick, right?
Totally.
Like I was trying to figure out how to break through the algorithm. So I just like brought a ladder out and now I just stand on a ladder. I waited for people to interview and now I'm the ladder interview guy. But I've got 5 million followers and you can laugh at me all you want, but I make $10 million a year. So fuck you.
I could not have less of a similar story. I analyzed like relentlessly like top performing tweets and I looked for patterns that they followed in the hook. So it would be, like I just said, it would be commonly held belief, but that's not true. Social proof of the result, here's how. That was something that I saw consistently would perform well in education-based content. So I just took it and adapted it to my niche and I rinsed and repeated it over and over. You could basically do the same framework, but implement a new brand. Yeah. And it's like, well, this brand did it.
Let's break down this business that you built. It's called Nibble Studio. So you exited it. What was it doing in revenue last year?
It did 2 million top line.
2 million top line. What did you sell it for?
I sold it for 3.5.
And how much money were you making out of the business? If you didn't sell it, what was the take home?
I was taking home around $50,000 to $70,000 a month in paper income, but the problem was, the reason I sold it was primarily because that 50 to 70 was on paper, but certain clients wouldn't pay on time. And so like, that's just a reality of any services business. You're always going to have a lot of accounts receivable waiting for people to pay you, like especially when I was working with brands like C4 Energy, with Grunes, with True Classic Teas, like really large enterprise scale brands where you get swallowed into an accounting department. And once you get CC'd with the accounting at C4.com, you're fucked. Like you're never seeing that money for like 90 days. And so I was consistently running balances with these people, $25,000, $50,000. And I'm like, can you pay me? Can you pay me? Meanwhile, like my employees needed to get paid. My creators needed to get paid. And so, yes, I was supposed to be making $50,000 to $70,000 a month in cash, but I was really bringing home maybe like 20 to 30, which was great. It's a great lifestyle, but it wasn't enough for me to like reach escape velocity of like, I am making so much money. I want to keep doing this for a long time. Let's
say your best friend's a creator. They have an idea to start a business. I don't care what it is. Do you have any feedback you'd give them on like why they should, they shouldn't, or like, hey, here's like 2 things that you need to do?
Yeah. People weren't privy to the conversation we had last night at dinner, but I think you said something to a lot of our creator friends there that is very relevant, which is people have no idea how difficult it is to go 0 to 1. They have literally no idea. Going 0 to something that is actually generating revenue consistently and sustainably is the hardest part by a billion. Like it's not going from 1 to 10. That's actually relatively easy. One of the frameworks.
Easier than 0 to 1.
Yeah. My take on it is like once you have the need for a CFO, you're in a good spot, right? Yeah. Like once you're looking to optimize the financials and track the dollars, like you're out of the rat race a little bit. Yeah. But I think where people run into a buzzsaw is just not understanding that like, okay, you have a good idea, but the execution's going to be a big part of it. The product experience that people have is going to be a big part of it. Like your marketing and distribution, like there's like 7 or 8 things that all have to go right for 0 to 1 to work.
Yeah.
And so if I were advising a creator friend, I would probably say like, be in a really comfortable position to lose $100,000 to $200,000 on this and not have it ruin your life. Because I wouldn't say don't go for it. Like you should objectively go for things in life, but I think it's really hard when people are cash crunched for them to make good short-term decisions is another philosophy I have. Like you have to be comfortable financially to make the right long-term call, or completely delusional psycho, which most entrepreneurs fall into the second bucket.
For sure. Well, we were out to dinner last night, and one of the creators, let's say he's making $2 million. Yeah. Probably at a 96% plus profit margin. Mm-hmm. completely organic, isn't running any of the marketing machinery that we both know could probably take that from $2 million to $20 million.
Right.
Would you advise creators who aren't playing the game with the superpower of digital marketing to get in?
It's interesting because a lot of them have their own internal biases against this. I think you look at, so last night we were with Ian Fonz, who is like this running influencer. He's pretty jacked, whatever. And, you know, there's Ian Fonz and then there's Alex Eubank, right? And the difference between Eubank and Fonz is Eubank is fucking shameless. Like, shout out to him. He's making crazy bread, but he's going to sell the bodybuilding package to a guy that he doesn't think is going to actually get jacked.
Yeah.
I think Fonz has a moral compass where he's like, I don't want to be a fitness coach. And so to me, it almost comes down to like, have you reached the point where you don't give a shit about quote unquote maybe selling out? Right?
Yeah, but I'm actually thinking about it differently. The way in which the creator sitting next to me, won't name names, but was making money, was selling his own product, something that he truly believed in.
Totally.
The question is the only people who were buying it
Right.
were
his audience.
was
not
his
net
audience.
Yeah.
And if I was the COO of that business, I'd be like, you're making $2 million a year. We haven't done anything to tell the world that you exist other than you make a post and people buy.
Yeah.
And if you just put a little bit of machinery behind it, a UGC army, a little bit of paid, can we go from 2 to 20?
Yeah. You definitely
Do you think
can.
there's a lot of creators out there that don't understand that or just don't care enough, where the lifestyle is so good that building a business is not the thing that is actually holding them back?
Totally. I think it comes down to a very similar dynamic of athletes. So athletes are similar to creators. There's so much opportunity to be captured in their broader orbit. There's brand deals, there's launching their own products, sponsorships, whatever it may be. And you look at guys like, maybe like Chris Paul is notorious for just, his brother runs their camp so airtight. Like, there's never any fraud, there's never any slippage of money. Everything is done very, very smart and sophisticated and well. And there's countless stories of other NBA players. Ja Morant's an example, where his team is stupid as hell. Like, they literally are letting him run a $160 million a year business. That's what they have. They have a $160 million a year annual revenue business. And him, through his sponsorships, his NBA contracts, whatever, they're running it into the freaking ground. Huh. And, it's like, what's the difference between those two? Chris Paul said, I'm not playing that shit. I'm not going to hire people that are going to, sell me short or just basically, not deliver the maximum amount of value. He runs it like a very tight ship. I don't think that's obviously happening in the other camp. I think they're probably just his boys that are not professional. And so, like, there's naturally going to be slippage there. And that, in my opinion, is really what it comes down to with creators is, like, who are their partners? Are their partners people who they just knew coming up?
Yeah.
Or is it someone who's a sophisticated business owner? Because, the guy you're talking about, he just was working with a guy that he'd known for a while.
Yeah.
He's not working with two-time exited founder Jeff Frommer. It's like, hey man, like, there's all this like dumb stuff going on.
I do find that there is a gap of the COO in the creator economy.
Definitely.
I think people think, oh, Mr. Beast or Jake Paul, but they don't realize that there's a Woody or there's a partner behind those brands that are running the operations.
Creators don't trust anyone that was not there before the come up. It's the same thing as athletes. They're like, yeah, this person just wants to extract value out of me, but this high school buddy who's leeching onto me he's got the best, most pure motives. It's like, I think they just don't trust those COO types.
I had obviously a partner, and I think that it's really hard to do anything really successful alone. And I think there's going to be this massive movement where AI will displace a lot of people who have incredible pedigrees, incredible experience, incredible work ethic, that are just going to be tired of the rat race and have an entrepreneurial spirit, but don't necessarily have the idea. Mm-hmm. And then I think creators who will have this massive audience and this trust that they've earned over time by telling stories and providing value to their audience, there's a symbiotic relationship there. And I think that the
Very.
creator economy needs the COO to be able to not build the next Feastables or Prime, but millions of 7 and 8 figure businesses. And I just think that there is a huge opportunity for creators who have decided to take that entrepreneurial journey and build a course or build an app or build a recipe book or build whatever, and are now not selling out to their audience because some brand wanted to rent their audience for a post and they made 10 grand and they could give two shits about it. But they've actually built something that they're passionate about, that their audience wants, and now they're just there and they're doing incredibly well.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that every creator needs to build a $100 million business, but I do think every creator should build a business, and a business has operations, it has infrastructure, and it is not a solopreneur, right?
Well, how many businesses have you started? I mean, just ballpark it. I'm sure it's like 15 to 20 at the moment.
I've started a lot of businesses.
And not all businesses, as you know, are created equally, right? Like I have had probably 5 failures, then Nibble succeeded, and then my telehealth business, which I just separated from, that went 0 to 20 million in revenue in 6 months.
Yeah.
Which one do you think felt easiest? Probably the 0 to 20 million, right? It was like, oh, we're just pressing buttons and revenue's magically appearing. And there is way too little emphasis on what game to be played versus I think I have a good idea.
Yeah.
Like they don't put the idea through the lens of like, is this a good business? And that's a hard thing for people to identify as well.
I think creators should look at it as purpose and passion. And purpose is like you've built an audience that trusts you. And so can you build something that they want or they need? Because that's your purpose.
Yeah.
But separately, you may just be really passionate about, I don't know, building a new kitty litter or some new neurological product.
Yeah, gets you out of bed.
Right? Gets you out of bed.
Yeah.
But you didn't realize that your audience doesn't give a shit, right? And I think where the real magic happens is when purpose and passion align.
Totally.
Right? And that's where finding, I've been trying to tell creators, like, going to 0 to 1 is really hard. And if you've never done it before and you've never failed, the best, on-ramp to entrepreneurship is invest your social capital in someone other entrepreneur, right? Who has all the infrastructure, who's been through the whirlwind, has got past the 0 and is now going from 1 to 10 and is looking for some juice to put on that fire, and you provide that.
Totally.
Right?
I totally agree. That's kind of how I got my start. I mean, I was like a co-founder in like 5 different things. And then I just said, I can't keep putting my destiny in the hands of someone else until I started my own thing. So I get it. And I think it's important to take those skin in the game reps, because otherwise you don't develop that appreciation for how hard things are.
If I gave you $1 million right now to start another business, what business would you start and why?
I would probably look for something that had significant enterprise value at the end of the tunnel.
What does that mean? I don't think people know what enterprise value is.
Like enterprise value is the ability to exit a business for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Does it have to be hundreds of millions of dollars?
Primarily, it's 30 to 70 million is where most exits actually happen, which is another thing that I think most people don't even understand. They want to go billion or bust like venture people, and it's like 80% of transactions happen between like 30 and 80 million. And so it would be something that would have really solid unit economics, which means, maybe 80% gross margin, high repeat purchase rate, huge target addressable market, solves a clear problem, is, easy to discuss and clear. I think people oftentimes get themselves into a word salad game. They're like, selling hydroionized water, which is plucked from, the Yellowstone aquifer, and that's why the sediment allows it to.
How much is it? I'd like to buy that.
It's $16 per bottle, and you're like, why do I give a shit? So I think like,
I'll take 2.
don't start something that's a tongue twister. I mean, I think we've talked a little bit about businesses I'm excited about. Like, I think people are really stressed. I think they need to be regulated through means that are not. I look at the GLP-1 success, right? So GLP-1s are the first weight loss product that has ever worked. I mean, for lack of a better term, right? Like,
Sure.
it's impossible for it not to work. It just makes you not hungry, and so you don't eat. And it's science. And so what that is like habit mitigation, right? Like you're so far gone, you literally cannot control your eating impulses that we're just going to stop them. And I think where are other places where humans are too far gone that they cannot stop their impulses? I think phones are a significant one. You've seen this with Brick. Have you seen Brick? It's like this device you would put on a phone, or you would put the app on the phone, you put the brick on your fridge, you go to your other office, and you literally can't open your phone unless you go into the fridge and touch the brick. And I think that product success tells me that like there's a huge appetite for, I am so addicted to my phone, I can't even control it. And so I would probably start something that addresses sort of the impact of phone use and all the negative things that people are feeling. So they're feeling more stressed, they're feeling low mood, they're feeling low energy, it's impacting their sleep. And I think there are different, supplements that you could attach to those different problems as a solution. And another thing I look for in a product is like, where is it in culture? Like, is Andrew Huberman talking about it? Is Peter Attia talking about it? Is Mel Robbins
He's
talking
canceled.
about it? He is canceled.
He'll be back.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
You never
People
know.
will forget in like 3 months. I think, is it being discussed on Diary of a CEO, right? Is there this mass awareness of that product? And will that make it easy for people to be like, oh, I've seen that before. Oh, nice. Like I was wondering where I should buy this. When your ad lands on their feed and it's like, I've heard Huberman talk about L-theanine. Like I'm ready to buy some L-theanine. Like I do think it's that simple. So it'd be something in that like stress mitigation space.
I think a lot of creators I talk to have an idea of what they want to build, or they have no idea.
Yeah.
And the ones that have an idea,
What do you think that split is? Like, I mean, to me, it sounds like 80-20, 80% don't know what to build.
no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
Also, don't really know who their audience is. I think there's like a huge missed opportunity to actually provide, like, as a brand marketer, all you care about is knowing who your ICP is. Who's going to buy your product? And there's so many tools and infrastructure out there that can help you better understand who that person is. But as a creator, you get kind of baseline demographics.
Yeah.
The secret sauce is held by Meta and by Zuck.
Yeah.
There's that Social Dilemma movie where it's like, they know every single biometric and everything, and they're using computer vision to watch every video you've ever watched. And the one before it, it's like, hey, I'm going to send this person a notification because they're in geolocation.
Totally.
Or this. Like, there's so much growth science to getting people to make a purchase.
Oh, yeah.
And I think creators need to understand if they want to build something really big. And I've talked to some creators that actually look at their content like a science. They study the analytics, they study off the drop right. They know if they make it 30 minutes and they can get people past this retention rate, they can add in 2 more ad breaks, and so they can make more money on the back end. And like, those are the entrepreneurial creators that when you think about building a business, those are the ones that you want to partner with.
100%.
The ones that are just like I deal with a lot of managers and a lot of creators, and when like the manager to me is a representation of the creator. If they think transactionally, so does the creator. If the creator has no interest and lets the manager do the job, right? Like, you're not going to build a long-term partnership.
Yeah.
Those people typically have short-term, gains for long-term losses.
Right.
Right.
I couldn't agree more. And I think what you just said about the level of detail in the analytics is exactly what you want to see with a creator, because at least for me, all of my success is rooted in just understanding the 3 metrics that Meta cares about when amplifying a video. TikTok's the same thing.
What are the 3 metrics?
So number 1 is watch time. So they want to know what percentage of the video.
So it doesn't matter if you're a brand marketer or a creator, if Meta's going to get your content to perform,
it
has to hit these 3 metrics.
It has to hit these 3 metrics. So number 1 is the watch time. So how long is someone watching that video? Number 2 is the hook rate. So what percentage is watching at 3 seconds?
So the hook rate means if 1,000 people watch my video,
right,
and everyone and
a
high
you have
percentage,
a 70% hook rate,
past the 3% mark,
past the 3-second mark, then that would mean that 700 of the 1,000 were still watching at second 3.5.
So we really have 3 seconds to capture someone's attention.
I mean, no, I think you have way less.
You have 2 seconds. I can swipe up fast.
I think you have the first frame.
The first frame.
Yeah, you literally have the first frame.
We are goldfish.
Well, I mean.
Well, there's just a sea of content. So
think about how much their thumb is trained to just keep going. Like it's a freaking crazy brain neurological interaction.
Sometimes you get lost, right? Like I've been here for 15 minutes. Like where have I?
Sometimes I save a video that I watched for 8 seconds and it's 2 minutes and I never go back to it, but I engaged with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And so it's watch time, hook rate, and then the third one is shares. So brands or platforms want content to be shared. It's a network effect in play. So if something is likely to get shared frequently, then it's going to get amplified because that's a behavior they want. They want more interaction in the DMs. You go into the DMs, you send something, you view what your friend sent you, you consume more, et cetera, et cetera. And so like, if you can hit those three, like, this is every video that I've ever had that has gone very viral, like 1 million+ views, has been, 1-to-1 likes to saves, 3-second hook rate above 75%, and a watch time above 50% of the video. Meaning out of those million views, if I have a minute-long video and 1 million views on that video and it's 50% watch time, like that means 500,000 people watch the full thing. That's the golden kind of triangle that they're looking for.
You think there's a massive opportunity to teach people how to be creators.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a couple things. I have friends out of a job,
Mm-hmm.
and then I see people going on TikTok Live and making $1 million in GMV, of which they get 20 or 30% of, and that's in a single month.
Yeah.
And I see those people being no better, more interesting, no more entertaining than some of my friends.
Absolutely.
What do they have that my friends don't? What would you teach them? What are like 2 things that you've learned as a creator? Because you're both a creator and a marketer. And I do think, like I used to say, like there's a separation between a creative and a creator,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Totally.
I had a ton of people at Malka that were creatives.
Creatives are extinct
Why?
because they have no value. Their value has gone to zero.
I disagree completely.
I think the average creative, if we're distinguishing between creator and creative,
Yeah.
I think a creator is the most valuable position in the entire marketing org.
But I think
And I think a creative has gone to zero with AI. That's my personal opinion.
And so you talked before about framing, like a brand that can simplify its positioning and be famous for something.
Mm-hmm.
You named a couple brands at lunch. What were some of the things? You said some, origami or like.
Well, it's a viral phrase.
A viral phrase.
Yeah, a viral phrase.
Do you think those viral phrases happened by accident, or do you think a creative came up with them?
From behind the scenes of each one of those came from primarily the creators using slang to describe the product. So for some of the examples we used were like Halara is this brand on TikTok shop who sells like very cheap leggings.
Yeah.
And
How cheap is cheap?
Cheap, bro. Like $18.
I don't shop for leggings that often.
I mean, leggings for your wife would be like $120 maybe. So, because y'all are bougie. So I mean, maybe she'd get $180. But
hold on, I don't understand. Who's gonna edit this podcast?
This one?
Is an agent gonna edit this podcast?
Charles is gonna edit this podcast.
Will Charles be replaced by an agent?
In a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles, you're gonna be out of a job.
Charles is done. No.
Charles is done.
No, there will always be an element. I mean, look.
Will there?
I think
you
yes.
You just said creatives go to zero.
Okay, fair. Maybe that was hyperbole, but I would say that like the average creative is not good. Like Charles is excellent. He's like Okay, so let's distinguish here. I'm talking about like graphic designers and like people who kind of like pump out, visuals. I think that good editors, we're in the K-shaped economy in every single profession. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? It's like good people are going up, bad people are going down, right? And if you're a good editor, you know how to storytell properly. That's Charles's thing. He's good at shooting a bunch of stuff, and then even if he shot something at night and he shot something earlier in the day, he knows that he should show the thing at night first in the story because it'll help the narrative. It'll help make it a better story. That's a skill that I don't think AI has yet.
Do you think human curation has value?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
like AI couldn't come up with a single one of the viral phrases that we talked about.
Why not?
It doesn't speak in slang yet. It tries.
But yet. So it's the worst it's ever going to be today. So is the idea here, if I'm an editor, maybe not in 6 months, but definitely in 6 years, I'm out of a job?
That'll just depend on the growth curve of AI. And
Today, I can hire someone that looks better than you, who's more fit, who talks a little more eloquently, and I can make 1,000 hyper-personalized videos at scale and run them on Meta. Why would I ever hire you?
because I think that question is a lot different a year from now. But as it stands today, there are things that AI UGC, for example, if that's what you're referring to, cannot replicate in terms of just pure human emotive, like the ability to be very conversational, like it's very programmed. And so
So fast forward in a year,
it's totally possible that
2 years,
almost certain.
3 years.
And yeah, then we'll just be on universal basic income in our feudal homes,
So creatives will be replaced and creators will be replaced.
I don't think creators will ever be replaced.
Why?
Because there's a parasocial relationship that's very difficult to cultivate with AI.
Human to human relationship, meaning this person has let me into their life.
Yeah. More like I'm a human and I see a lot of the things that I aspire in this other human. I think that is primarily influencer's role, especially in the female ecosystem, is like admiration of traits of this creator, of their routine, they are something that I aspire to be. And there's no inherently emotional connection with a robot that's just showing things that you want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no appreciation for the robot doesn't have to have the discipline to wake up at 5 a.m. and hit a skincare routine because they're going to go work out at 7 and look great at Pilates. And like the lifestyle that people are aspiring to and believing in is something that you cannot just artificially create because it's not earned. It's just,
Do you think that the platforms themselves should, at some point, take a stand of not allowing virtual influencers to tell us that this probiotic that I should take is not the benefits that someone just told me they had? That person wasn't real?
I mean, I wouldn't want to get political, but that is not the platform's issue.
Is that society's?
It's an FTC problem. It's not a platform issue. If you give platforms the ability to monetize more, they will monetize more.
I agree. But do you think FTC won't step in?
Yeah, because they're incompetent.
Well, I just think they won't step in. It's like the education system.
But they should. I mean,
you believe today, if you were in charge of the FTC, you would turn off virtual influencers telling us to buy products that they are not consuming?
I think I would probably do that because I don't find it good for the American consumer. Because I think I've just seen the belly of the beast. I'm a white hat guy. So in the marketing world, there's 3 different categories. There's white hat, which is a marketer who will publicly show his face. There is gray hat, which is a marketer who will not publicly show his face because he runs a lot of things that are probably pretty suspect. He's telling 55-year-old women that they can cure their menopause if they just take this one supplement. It's not true. And then there's black hat. Black hat is like Russian mafiosos who are running people into crypto scams telling them they'll cure cancer. And I'm not exaggerating. And so like there's just different levels of morals and beliefs as a marketer, but what happens, at least as a white hat person who has observed gray hat and worked with gray hat and seen black hat, is that you realize that like people will always gravitate towards the lowest common denominator unless stopped. And so I just think that the FTC has an opportunity to prevent mass manipulation by people who do not have the consumer's best interests. And they're not going to do it. So it's an irrelevant topic anyway. They're literally not going to do it. Like we're going to have AI influencers at scale and it's going to be fucking crazy. And I think we'll eventually, my big prediction on the tech side would be there will be a like humans only social media. And that's what's going to be next.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we create a humans only social media? Why wouldn't, like, I see comments that I'm not sure my friends are leaving.
Yeah.
I see people that I know are not real. I see discourse around things that never happened, right? Do you think that the ability for us to put a brick on our phone and say, I can't even deal with the social anxiety of being online 24/7, requires us as a society to step in and say, I don't even know what's real anymore.
Yeah.
Like, why hasn't someone already stepped in to create humans only? And I've shared this. Like, I think we have 10,000 creators on our platform.
Yeah.
I think we should reach out to all of them and say, let's go build 2014 Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, just before AI decided that what is social, and like Claude writing LinkedIn, I see so many LinkedIn posts where I go, that person wasn't there, that person didn't do it, that person didn't write that thing.
Yeah.
And so why are you sharing it? What value do you think you're giving the world? Was it a lived experience that you want someone else to skip the pothole that you fell into?
It's just engagement.
Yeah. So, but is it engagement for what purpose?
Eyeballs, dopamine, business at value. I think that you will never see like a humans only social media network at scale, like at a TikTok or Facebook scale, because simply put, most people just don't care, and they'll just go to the lowest common denominator as a consumer as well.
You ever see Wall-E?
Of course, yeah.
Do you think that's where we're headed?
For like 80% of society probably, and then guys like you and me will live on a pasture somewhere with real human beings. Like, you know what I mean? I think like we're just gonna really bifurcate society into, those of us who like believe in the human experience and those of us who are victim to, the worst of capitalism. And I'm like a fierce capitalist. Like, I believe in the system, but ultimately when you let it go unhinged, I do think, you see things like a TikTok that is all AI influencers just showing people a mirror image of themselves that is so addicting they can't get off of it,
Yeah. The pasture that we'll all be living in 5 years from today.
It won't be in Jersey.
I don't know why everyone hates on Jersey.
It'll be around the corner,
it's
actually.
the best place. We're in the middle of fucking Bodunk, Texas.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way,
Yeah,
lovely.
Acre over.
Yeah, exactly. 5 years from today.
Yeah.
What's Brian Blum doing?
Man, hopefully playing tennis in the south of France.
So you're retired.
I'd like to.
Do you think you'd be bored?
I think there's a world where I wouldn't be bored.
So if I gave you $10 million right now and said, that's it.
Well, 10 wouldn't be enough. It would have
10's not enough.
No, I think to like really retire, like, and live a life of luxury, you'd probably need like 100, 200. 100. Yeah.
So at a 5% risk-free rate, that's making $5 million a year. You're making $400,000, like straight up without ever touching the principal. You think you could spend more than $400,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A month.
A month?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, like lifestyle creep is a real thing. I have had really big cash income months and I've had liquidity events. And I think that if you're not careful, your spending will scale to whatever level you want because it's out there in life. And if you're not careful, then because certain bills just don't feel like bills anymore, It's like it doesn't matter if you go out and drop $600 on dinner. It matters if you do it 18 days a month. And so it's kind of like it becomes a matter of discipline. I'm not necessarily talking about 100 million. 100 million is enough. 400,000 in income a month is absolutely enough. But I more so meant like if you want to have multiple houses, some toys, generational wealth for your family, and not work and not have to continue to work, then I think that's like close to the number.
Have you invested in any companies?
Yeah, I've invested in too many private companies.
How many?
Like 7.
And you've written what kind of checks?
25 to 100K.
And why?
I mean, one of them is a private credit fund that I believe is going to get me 20% a year. I believe in the operator. He's the biggest savage I know. He's just not going to fail. And so that one I feel good about. I've put 25K into a new restaurant here in Austin. It's with KD and Joe Gebbia. So I kind of just wanted to invest with the Airbnb co-founder and Kevin Durant and have a place I'm an owner in that's sick in town.
So when you walk in, you can say, I own this place.
Yeah, like a very tiny percentage,
The,
but maybe.
maybe like the 3 spoons and the couple cups.
Yeah.
That's fine. I've
Yeah.
invested in a hospitality group
I
as well.
don't have a dish named after me, but I'll be able to get in on a Friday night when it's tight.
Okay, Brian, good to see you
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Oh, the owner's table, please.
Yeah, exactly. Just like massage my shoulders a little bit on the way
Let me
in.
walk you in, sir. Katie's waiting.
Yeah. He's no idea what your name is still. But, I've invested in a software platform that'll help UGC creators get paid commissions for their meta ads. So I'm really excited about that. It's called Tribe. I've invested in Throne, which is a gut health startup. It's like Whoop for your poop is what they say. So it's like tracks your waste and tells you if there's any problems emerging. Colorectal cancer is a huge emerging issue for Americans. And so I like that space. And then I invested in my buddy's natural GLP-1 supplement brand. Most of these checks are like 25K.
So you decided at some point that you were going to parlay your income into some diversified portfolio.
Yeah. And then I'm obviously in the market with most of my net worth.
Stock market.
Yes. Yeah.
You in crypto?
No.
Don't believe?
I hate crypto.
It's not real?
Not only is it not real, but it's like not real to a level that I think people will eventually be devastated to learn. Like, I'm pretty much in the camp of like Bitcoin is like a CIA thing at this point. So,
well, let me put my
tin
tin hat on. This is great.
I'm all the way in there.
That's good.
But no, I mean, I was heavily in crypto in 2020 and 2021. I was in Luna. I don't know if you remember that one, Terra Luna.
I'm the worst crypto trader in America.
Yeah. I actually had some great outcomes with crypto. I was involved with a meme coin that went like, $0 to $30 million market cap, and I was in at the very beginning. So my $75 turned into $220K.
And you got out?
No, because I was a diamond hands. I learned
diamond hands.
Human psychology. It's like someone's gonna snake it, someone's gonna sell out. So I made like $18K off that $75, which was sick.
It's incredible.
But wasn't 220. And
no worries. So
I put that $18K into Luna as a stable coin and lost all $18,000 in a way that I had no bank insurance, no nothing. And so I'm just categorically out on crypto. Yeah.
What do you think about creators as owners? You're an investor, you seem quite savvy, seem quite entrepreneurial. I don't know how many creators I talk to have written investments, angel checks into businesses, know their portfolio in the stock market. A lot at times I see, and sometimes with athletes too, and I think less, more now are getting into like becoming a little more aware. But I see a lot of people throwing their hands up. What do you think about creators building brands and not just taking programmatic revenue or renting their audience to brand partnerships?
I think in a lot of scenarios, it's really good. It's an opportunity for the brand to cut the line in terms of getting attention. You used the line earlier, licensing trust. I think a creator's stamp of approval on something is really strong. And depending on the creator, it can be an absolute game changer in the marketing strategy. I can't tell you how many brands I come across, whether it's the agency world or podcasts, that are so out of touch with the modern moment that they're hopeless. And so for some of those people, a creator could be a godsend. That is a binary outcome. They could save your business because you're so bad at marketing that they will tell you what to do. And so I think that is a piece that probably is not even appreciated enough because sure, it's great if you can license their trust, but just getting their eyeballs on the taste and the aesthetic of the content you're putting out, the simple fact of you should never post an Instagram picture. You should never post an Instagram picture. That is the dumbest thing brands do. They post a single 4x5 grid image.
Should I not post any Instagram?
What are you doing? It doesn't get amplified to Reels, and which is where most behavior is happening. It's not in feed anymore. It's on Reels. If you do a carousel with the trending audio, it goes into the Reels feed. And so little nuances like that a creator has to know because they're in the game is the difference between your brand getting 1 million organic impressions a month and getting 4,000, right?
If I was a creator, if I was a marketer, I'm the CMO of a brand. Instead of me spending $5 million on a Super Bowl commercial, should I just hire a big creator to just run my marketing department? What do you think about like, we used to say like agency. So in my world, it was like, there was an in-housing movement. Agencies were like, we're spending too much money with IPG and Omnicom. We're going to in-house. We're going to build an agency.
Yeah.
Sometimes the problem with that is creative diversity. People who are creative want diversity, don't want to just work on a single brand all the time. It's like, okay, I work at Coca-Cola, so that's all I do is I think about Coca-Cola all day. But if I work in an agency, I get to work on a lot of different things. I get to cycle through.
Think about.
Could a creator be in-house? Is that the future?
I think it's part of the future. I think their opinions should be more widely accepted and valued.
Creators to CMOs.
Yes, I think creators should have more pull over just a budget allocator, which is a CMO. I think a CMO is like the dumbest role in business, to be honest. Like,
so every Fortune 500 that has a CMO, you think they're shit sandwiches?
Yeah, I think it's like a CFO that dresses well is the CMO. Right? It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, just a budget allocator whose job is to say no to stuff, you know? And I mean, that's my genuine opinion, having worked with public companies, having worked with companies that are valued in the, 10 to 11 figures. It's like the CMO is just the final guy to say no to something and be like, no, we can't afford that. We're not.
So who should make the decision?
I mean, ask yourself this. If Coca-Cola had a new flavor launch.
Yeah.
And the CMO was 47 years old.
Okay.
Right? They don't have TikTok downloaded on their phone.
You don't know that, but okay.
Let's just say they're 55. Probably more likely. I don't know.
Sure.
They're 50. They don't have TikTok downloaded on their phone. They use Instagram Reels. Like, they don't even know, like, they've never bought something on TikTok Shop.
Sure.
And Coke has a new flavor launch. If I had $5 million to promote that flavor launch, an average CMO, I would guess, would go to one of those big agencies you just talked about and be like, here's $3 million. Go get me like some sort of 360 lifestyle campaign with so-and-so big influencer, Kendall Jenner, whatever, Alex Earl. And so now let's get into the deliverables of that campaign. Like, maybe that's like 3 to 5 posts, evergreen, they can live, you can run them as ads on TV, whatever. Post them on social, cool. I think if that product launch was supported by TikTok Shop and Nano-Influencer strategy, where they got 10,000 everyday people to talk about the flavor with a very specific script and training based on a structure that we know. It's like Coca-Cola just launched their new cherry pop, like, and you throw the new can front and center. The can is kind of designed to catch eyeballs. It's high saturation color. It's eye-catching. And you get 10,000 people to post 5 times and you flood the algorithm with 50,000 videos, I would bet my entire career that will outperform a Super Bowl commercial or whatever massive investment is traditional, because what you're getting is grassroots word of mouth plus virality. And that is not something that is really achievable anymore through mainstream means. Like, we don't live in a culture anymore where a Super Bowl commercial matters, because we don't live in a mono culture anymore. We live in a very fragmented, algorithmically decided culture. Everyone's in their little niche. And so you can reach every niche if you get a critical mass of volume of creators, because they'll, like a mom, I'm probably not going to see a mom's piece of content, but I might see a fitness bro's piece of content. And if you work with both, then you're going to get the content on every different niche's feed. So that's my personal opinion.
I have a lot of views of that opinion. One, in that I think it's completely wrong, in that let's assume that marketing budget's $500 million. I don't think the CMO is a better dressed up CFO, although they are pretty well dressed. I've met most of them. I think
Probably good glasses.
Always great glasses, thick.
Yeah.
Always good, thick, like a good thick frame.
Tailored suit, nice loafers. Depends.
Yeah.
Well,
most of them I've met are
women.
Boss women.
Yeah.
Just like, and killers, straight up killers. I think you live in a world that's online. Does what you just said help the retail distribution?
Yes. Unequivocally.
What if my mom, who's a Coca-Cola drinker, she's not, but she is now in this hypothetical world we live in, isn't on TikTok?
This effort will make this flavor the #1 flavor on Amazon.
But most people don't buy Coca-Cola on
It'll reach you on Facebook. Facebook Reels is also like the dominant share of their attention these days.
So if I made you the CMO of Coca-Cola and we had to launch a new flavor, indifferent of the amount of money I gave you, your go-to marketing strategy would be launch an army of organic content creators on TikTok Shop. You'd come, I assume there's some creative behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to ensure that the videos are following proven frameworks so that you're not wasting the money.
And the framework has to do with creative or my brand.
The framework is the same for any brand. So it would be...
So it doesn't matter my brand. Like when I hear about briefs, like when a creator gets a brief and they go, oh, here's all the things that I've got to know about the brand.
No.
Do you think that's bad? Do you think briefs are bad?
It depends. I think formats and frameworks and structure for scripts and how to film the video are much more important than the contents about a brand in a brief. So I think every brand has specific selling points and benefits, but what makes a video go viral is actually like the tone of the creator, the way that they handle objections in the script, the way that they introduce the product, the way that they say, I'm going to be a guinea pig, watch this transformation live. Like, I'm going to try the new Coca-Cola cherry pop flavor. Oh my God, it's so good. Like, and it's not just saying, oh my God, it's so good. It's, I'm someone who never liked cherry flavored things. That is something that your Fortune 500 CMOs ain't putting in the brief because they just don't know. They're not like granular enough in the short form content space to tell someone this is how to build trust through storytelling.
But ideally, the CMO should be smart enough to know to hire Brian's agency who is smart enough to know what to put into that brief.
Totally.
Right?
And I just think that hasn't reached the escape velocity in the mainstream yet. I think budgets are still so slow to adopt this. I mean, what's the number one consumer brand? I guess, I mean, this is Target's number one brand is Shark Ninja. They are the number one consumer brand in America right now, realistically. And like, they are all in on social commerce. They price their products under retail and under Amazon to juice the TikTok Shop algorithm, to generate more sales and amplify existing viral videos so that they can capture this halo effect in the rest of their portfolio, whether that's Amazon, retail.com. And I honestly think every ounce of discovery is moving to social. A lot of the downflow demand capture happens on Amazon and retail. But, and that's another place you need to invest some of that budget is like an end cap that is experiential and makes someone stop while they're walking through a Target aisle. Like that's extremely important. But
do you think that you're important? You have 100,000, 200,000 followers.
Yeah.
Do you think the macro creator is valuable? In your campaign, do I need to hire? I'm the CMO. I'm 40. I have TikTok.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Do I need to hire creators with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers? Do I need to pay them $50,000 a post? Is that valuable in the world that you're living in? If you think, I want to launch this new cherry flavor. I want to have the biggest impact on my CFO, who is a worse dressed CMO, right? Will be like, Jeff, we hit the numbers. I can tell our investors, you know, on our earnings call that we crushed it. Thank you. You're going to get your bonus, right? Am I going to tell him, fuck Kim Kardashian and, you know, Hailey Bieber, we don't need them. We're going all in.
Well, the question isn't Hailey and Kim, right? The question is...
Well, which one? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
The question is the 300,000 follower
So
lifestyle
there's like
creator.
tier A, like...
I'll call it like S tier, like celebrity.
Celebrity.
Yeah.
Is that a C tier?
S tier?
Why is it S?
I don't even know the origin of that term. It's just what people say is like at the top.
Okay, S tier. I saw that today on a TikTok.
It's a thing.
And S was at the top, and I
Could
go...
be a Gen Z thing.
When I was looking at my report cards that my mom had saved, S is like satisfactory. Like that was the highest.
A
like,
was definitely the highest factor.
like it wasn't like S was like meh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I don't want to be satisfactory. Like I want to
yeah.
be excellent. I want to be an E.
Yeah.
Okay, but S is at the top of our food chain.
Right.
Fine. So like that's the celebrity. Then it's the macro.
Yeah, I'd say macro, like a 5 million, like a 5 to 10. Those are big.
Where are you?
I'm like a a D,
You're a D.
maybe.
And that is, what is that?
I'm like the 50 to 125,000
Is there a term for that?
camp. I would say I'm a micro influencer. I don't know.
Mid-tier?
100,000 followers is probably, to me, that feels micro influencer, just because I see 600,000 follower creators out there that I don't think are macro.
Got it. And then there's Nano.
And then Nano is under 20K or under 30K,
Okay.
really.
I'm going to give you my $5 million. You get my glasses. You've got thick frames now. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you divvy up the food chain?
I do think there is value in one S tier, a couple of macros.
Why?
Because they
What does the
have
S tier do?
massive amounts of just built in, like,
Are you paying for reach? Because
I'm paying for people that are not necessarily like super early adopters. I think that there's a lot of, you and I are probably similar in that we're hyper aware of what's going on in AI, and we're hyper aware of the tech world and emerging trends, looks maxing, longevity science, whatever it is. And there are people that are going to learn about those things in 3 years. And I think that's probably 70% of society. And so I think when you use a celebrity, that's a really good way for the rest of your nano-influencer content to also perform. Like Kourtney Kardashian's Lemmy brand did really well on TikTok Shop, because not only was it features, benefits, handling objections, great hook, and Kourtney Kardashian's brand. And it's like, when you kind of compare that social proof with something, I do think it is still valuable in a way. What's tough is that you have a high risk of miss on that. And so I think like you can pay the wrong big creator $1 million and get not a lot of value out of it. Like, I think Alex Cooper, the Call Her Daddy girl, she launched like a drink recently, because everyone just thinks they're going to recreate Alani and Prime and everything. Just like, hey, we have a big podcaster, let's just launch a CPG product with them. And it's like, you know, when I was at the agency that I was at before, we actually modeled the impact of like the search traffic basically around that energy drink. So as you know, what was the spike when her initial launch happened, and then was it sustained at all? Versus like a steady, always on nano-influencer strategy is constant build up. And it was just one big spike and then it went away. We live in a culture where that's old news within 24 hours. And so it can be something that provides lasting value if it's social proof, and if they're going to continue to be super involved. And so if the creator's really aligned and they have a cult-like following, then maybe it makes sense. But otherwise, you know, probably not the best. And then I would invest the majority of it in, like call it $1 million for the S tier, maybe like another $1 million for the rest of the mids. And then I would put like $3 million into creators.
just all UGC.
Yeah.
No paid?
Well, the thing about TikTok is it's pay to play. GMV Max is the campaign type that it's called. And so it basically takes any shop tagged video. So it's a TikTok video with a little orange shopping cart, and it'll just put it into an ad campaign and blow it up if it deserves to be blown up. So I would leave some of that $3 million for that budget.
Okay, last question now, because I'm quite interested. You have a different viewpoint than myself.
It's quite radical, I think, but it's something that I've seen over the last 2 years. Every disruptive brand is running this playbook.
When should a brand think about using equity as an incentive? I don't have $1 million to pay Kim Kardashian, right? Do you think that giving brands the ability to punch above their weight by using equity is valuable? And as a creator, when should I think about accepting or asking for equity?
Yeah, I think if I were a creator looking to take equity in a business, it would be two camps. Number one would be a business that was not explosively growing yet, and I thought I could be the catalyst for. Say it's doing $5 million a year, I think by simply being involved, I can take it to $25 million.
So you get in at today's fair market value because you are the gasoline to put on the fire.
Right. And then alternatively, I'd want maybe like equity in a business that was doing $30 million a year that had a clear path to doing 9 figures. But it'd be pretty rare for me, if I were a creator, to want to take equity in something that is doing like 100 to 300 million a year in revenue. And the reason why is just, this is potentially stupid, but the likelihood of that appreciating is very low, and those businesses exit way less. And so your range of outcomes becomes less attractive, in my opinion.
So there's this really good sweet
Goldilocks
spot,
zone. Yeah.
right? Where a brand is starting to be a part of that J curve, and they don't have the capital to reach you, but you influence their customer, and it's a perfect relationship where you can be the gas.
Yeah.
And you can get in, help juice it, and you have a multiplier effect. Right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes back to, you know, the value of like, I just think back to Fawn's last night, and like, I'm sure a traditional deal would just be 3 posts a month
Yeah.
and some stories, and that's severely under leveraging the creator's eyes for content and what a brand can do itself. You know, I think creators can have a really strong input in like what the brand is putting out there, whether that's on YouTube or short form. And that in itself is really valuable from a strategy perspective.
Yeah. I think people forget that creators are marketers. They're native marketers.
Better marketers than most marketers.
If they figured out how to garner attention and to consistently
Yeah.
grow an audience, then they know something that the brand wishes they knew,
Totally.
right?
Yeah.
And
100%.
and that's why like renting an audience from a creator is great for a short-term pop, but having actual partnership and giving the creator freedom and the intellectual access to tell the brand, hey, I love your brand, but these are some things that you guys really need to change. Like, you're just missing. I know this audience, I know this customer.
Yeah.
You know, I think too many brands think that they know what they're doing, and your job is to read the brief and hold the mic and talk, right?
I mean, think about it like this. You're a guy who's sold a business. You're a guy who's had many businesses fail. If someone could come in and tell you, these are the things you're going to do that are going to directly lead to your demise in this business, or these are the mistakes I promise you're making, that is so insanely valuable.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily cash in the door right now, but it's avoiding losses in the future. And look, 90% of brand owners aren't going to appreciate that. Like, they want cash in the door. Like, I've talked to a million brand owners. They're like, is this making me revenue tomorrow? And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like, you just don't. You're not going to build a long-term thing here, so whatever. But like, I think creators could probably point out a lot of deficiencies that would save brands a lot of pain, and I don't think that gets valued in the equity conversation either.
Well, one brand I could get you a deal with right now, your dream company that you would say, as Brian Blum, as a creator, not the entrepreneur, you should be the face of because you love it, you're passionate about it, or you think that you could really, change the trajectory of it. Is there a brand that you follow? You're like, I want to do a deal with them.
I mean, dude, I'll tell you what, this like sunglasses brand, Jacques Marie Mage, I just think what they're doing is so cool. I'm really enamored with brands that are creating lasting things. So, they're someone who leans into the materials. They only do limited run of the shades. I believe in a lot of their storytelling. It's like craftsmanship and durability and long lasting stuff in a time of slop. So, I mean, that's one that I think would be pretty sick.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, Brian.
I gotta pick my swag up a little bit if I'm gonna work with them. They got like Jacob Elordi on there, so it'll be tough to compete.
Listen, I don't know what GLP-1 you are, but it looks like from the last time I seen you've been getting healthier, you're getting in better shape. Maybe the anxiety and stress of building a business
Yeah, it wore off. Yeah.
wore off a bit, but it sounds like you're going to jump back into the arena. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the time. Thank you for letting me use this beautiful studio and for writing Influence for Equity episode. That's not right, but some around there for what we did earlier.
Yeah, 137.
And I'm a believer in you. I think you meet a lot of people that, as an investor, you could go, I don't like the idea.
Right.
I don't like the market, but I like the person. And I think what you said about your friend, he's a savage. Sometimes you just know people are going to win because they don't know how to lose.
Totally.
Right? I think you got that.
You only lose if you give up.
That's it. Nice to talk to you, my friend. Thanks very
All right,
much.
brother. Thanks for having me.